The city of Kale, famed for its shimmering marble and silk bazaars, awakened one blistering morning to find its coffers empty. Not a single coin, not a jewel, only the desperate whisper of bread and silence. Once, silk merchants flaunted their wealth in every caravanserai. Now they clutch empty purses. While a humble baker, dwelling in the dust of the outer market, quietly oversees his overflowing granaries, utterly untouched by the panic. But fortunes do not vanish by magic. They merely flow towards those who understand the ancient currents of value. It all began not with a grand trade, but with the single, humble grain in the heart of the Golden Oasis. In the fertile crescent of the Golden Oasis lived a baker named Alara. Her hands were always dusted with flour, her heart with gratitude for the earth's bounty. Around her, the marketplace buzzed with the opulent silk merchants, Zaid and Omar, who dealt in vibrant tapestries and exotic spices, their voices loud with boastful pronouncements of their daily gains. Each evening, Zaid and Omar would gather their gold, calculating their profits, only to spend it all on lavish feasts, new robes, and fleeting pleasures, leaving their coffers empty by dawn. Ilara, however, lived by a different rhythm. From every measure of grain she harvested, she separated a tenth, no more, no less. It was her sacred rule, her unseen promise to the future. This tenth she carried to a secluded hidden valley, a place known only to her, where she had dug deep, cool storage pits. There, the grain would rest, multiplying its potential. The merchants, seeing her humble abode and simple meals, often mocked her frugality. "Why hoard, Alara?" Zaid would bellow. "When life's pleasures await the adventurous." Alara would merely smile, for she understood that visible wealth, quickly consumed, often hid invisible poverty, while hidden reserves held the true promise of abundance. Then, a great drought descended upon the land. The sun beat mercilessly, scorching the fields, wilting the date palms. The mighty well of the Golden Oasis, the lifeblood of Kale, began to dwindle. Panic rippled through the city. The merchants, with their vaults now empty of gold, for gold could not quench thirst or sate hunger, despaired. Their silks became worthless rags. Food became the new currency, and none was to be found. Children cried, stomachs ached, and the proud city of Kale faced the very famine Alara had envisioned in her quiet diligence. Zaid and Omar, once so proud, offered their last jewels for a single loaf. But there was no bread to be bought. Their visible opulence had been a mere illusion, concealing a terrifying vulnerability. Then, a whisper spread. The humble baker, Alara, still had grain. Not just enough for herself, but enough to sustain many. Her hidden tenths, nurtured through seasons, had become a mountain of life. From her secret stores, Ilara began to distribute the grain, feeding the hungry, sustaining the city through its darkest hour. Her quiet discipline had not just saved herself, but an entire people. Size. The rule of tenths, as lived by Alara, is more than just a simple act of saving. It is a profound philosophy of foresight, resilience, and the quiet power of compounding. It teaches us that true wealth is not merely what we accumulate and display, but what we secure for the unseen future. It is a hedge against the inevitable droughts, both economic and personal. In our modern world, the tenth may not be grain. It could be a portion of your income directed to a robust savings account, a diversified investment portfolio, or even acquiring new valuable skills. The principle remains constant. Dedicate a portion of your present abundance to cultivate future security. Let your tenths grow in their own hidden valleys, away from the temptations of immediate consumption. The merchants, Zaid and Omar, learned this costly lesson firsthand. Visible spending, unchecked, creates invisible risks. Ilara, the baker, proved that quiet discipline builds an insurmountable fortress of wealth. Consider the sand in your own hourglass, not just the fleeting shimmer of gold. What tenth are you planting today for the harvest of tomorrow? May your foundations be strong and your harvests abundant.